My name's Jefferson Aldridge. Welcome to Giving is Good. Today we have Mike Myers from, people know it as The Beautiful Feet. They know him as The Feet. He runs, and you have a partner.
Yep.
They run a ministry in downtown Fort Worth with the homeless people, with the homeless population, with the homeless community. A lot of people categorize them in a lot of different ways. Homelessness is probably the easiest way to say it. But they have been doing something very special for a long time, and I want y'all to be able to see and hear what they do. I want Mike to tell his story. If you want to get involved and you like what they have to say, you should go down and visit. What they do is amazing. Mike, tell us a little bit tell us when you guys got started, kind of fill us in, tell the audience, show them your heart.
Yeah.
Tell them a little bit about what you guys have done, where you've been, what your vision is, what you see in the future for homelessness.
Right. Right.
Kind of walk them through. Let's fill them in. Let's give them the story.
Right. Well, I got the supernatural setup of the very best kind. Mike Myers here, and my wife Sarah and I, in the early 80s, were going to Southwestern Seminary in Fort Worth, Texas. And there at the seminary, we met a guy that had challenged us to go out and help him share some donuts and some coffee with some homeless in the downtown water gardens. And wow, little did we know that people would be sleeping out there under the shrubs and such. And, we had never encountered a homeless person in our lives. We're from rural Mississippi, rural Alabama, fresh from the farm.
And the Lord's got you in the middle of downtown Fort Worth with
Now,
homeless people.
Downtown Fort Worth, waking up a guy that's sleeping under a shrub, knocking off ants off of him and inviting him to Dunkin' Donuts and coffee right there in the gardens. Well, we got a vision for just, we need to reach out to these people with the gospel.
Yeah.
And so we saw that there was an area for like an amphitheater area out there. In fact, Farrah Fawcett made her first movie called Logan's Run out there, a sci-fi film. And so we took that spot, or one of those spots out there would be conducive for outdoor speaking, and we started having services in the water gardens for 3 years.
Wow.
And so the city endorsed it, and Charles Dreyfus, a guy with the city, went down and cut the water off so that the gospel could be heard. We started feeding some folks. All of a sudden, Sunday after Sunday being consistent, homeless found a place to eat and be in those gardens, and then we started busing them to a local church.
Okay.
And so we started busing them to a local church, taking them in our cars and stuff. And
How'd that go over?
well, it went good pretty much at first because you was either a hero or a goat. You was either a great missionary or you was the man tearing up our church, bringing all these stinky people in here. And so it just depends on who you talk to on whether it went over good or not. But God used it. God was in the mix. We had never seen homeless before, but all of a sudden God started capturing our hearts for people, and we didn't have time to go home and put on our Sunday best. We had to go like we were, and here they were without clothes and adequate clothing and food. And so, God started changing us as much as he was changing homeless. And grabbing our hearts and pulling us in and seeing the gospel was for everybody and it would change us and make family out of all of us. It's pretty much a treasure. Well, skip in there a few years, that after we started growing at that church, they decided, whoa, we need to do something here. This thing's getting out of hand. A lot of people coming.
There's a whole lot of homeless people here every Sunday now.
And so those people got excited about getting rid of us. Promoting missions. And so they decided that they would promote missions in a great way. And we found a place all boarded up on Hattie Street that had pigeons flying through it. God told us to go in there and chase the pigeons out and bring people. He brought the people back.
Wow.
And so, sure enough, that's what happened. And when we opened it up on Hattie Street, it was walking distance to 3 area shelters. We would still run a bus system, but it was so much closer and better. And now it's like flip-flopped. Instead of
How long ago was this?
this was 1986.
1986.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for how long now?
Since 1986.
Wow.
Or 1981, actually.
Okay, that's
'Cause
when
we
it
were in the
started.
gardens 3 years, and
Gotcha.
then boom, we
Okay.
started. Yeah, 1985 and 86 is kind of when
Okay.
we made the jump to the building.
Wow.
And then, wow, let me tell you, the supernatural setup of God's best. You can't make this move without help. All of a sudden, he had a doctor give us a bus. He had some people that decided to come and help get that building up to code. He had some retired contractors that came and gave of their time. And then a doctor by the name of David Capper decided to come alongside of us and open a free medical clinic for the poor and for the homeless of downtown Fort Worth. And whoa. And then Dr. Tom Highworth comes alongside of us, he and his wife Lucia, and they open up a dental clinic.
All right there,
And the
adjoined to y'all, helping, God's providing
Yes.
all of these people
Yes.
to get involved with you.
Yes.
Interesting.
And so every week, we now can have daily chapel services. We have daily Bible studies. We have breakfast and lunch for the homeless. We have churches that come in and help make a part of our, not only our Friday night outreach, but our Wednesday nights. They come in and serve the homeless, cook meals on a regular basis. We have different churches that will be in Inside Network, where they give us ministry opportunities to come, and we give them ministry opportunities to come and serve, giving out clothes, giving out food, medical, dental. All these people are connected, and they come and connect with Beautiful Feet. Not only that, but even small kids. It's family friendly. Feet is family friendly, where you could bring your kids.
It's safe.
It's safe, and
safe.
it's in the public, and you teach your kids to give back to the poor. Give them to give back to the homeless. What a wonderful lesson that we all could learn from that. And
How thankful are some of those kids when they go home? When our kids
Yes.
in today's environment in America live with so much.
Right.
Right.
And so we want our kids to learn that, but we want to do it in a safe environment.
Yeah.
Well, we take kids out, what we call a hot dog drop, on Friday nights, where we load up a bus, you pick your team name, we're going to give you about 100 hot dogs and tracts and water bottles,
Wow.
and you're going to go tell them about Jesus and pray with people and give them a dog out there on the streets and pray with people. And seeing kids pray with people, incredible. We have people now coming from all over the country that will stay in our boot camp, and they come at weeks at a time. We're booked up in the summer months about 2 years in advance, because out-of-state groups want to come to Beautiful Feet, come for a week, if you can imagine that, take over serving in the kitchen, but also go on our E-teams, where we're going out to the streets,
Okay.
reaching people out on the streets and bringing them back to eat, and chapel services that they will lead. It's,
So they are learning
Yes.
to do what you do so
Yes.
that they can duplicate it back in their environment.
exactly.
Okay.
So two-prong approach. The gospel goes to the poor, but also the equipping the saints for the ministry in sharing the gospel and speaking and singing and helps ministry of. I mean, think about if you had to serve 100 people a week clothing. That's going to take an army.
It's a
well,
lot of
guess
clothes.
what? That's a lot of clothes, a lot of organization. The body of Christ joins together. Servant evangelism lives at the feet.
That's amazing.
Pretty cool stuff.
How many people do you serve in a week, in a month, in a year?
Yeah.
Is there a
Yeah.
way to even quantify it?
Well, you know, we're hitting about serving about 120 people a day.
Wow.
And then on the weekends, especially on Sundays, we're bumping that numbers up with vans and with buses going to shelters and going to neighborhoods. We also reach out to inner city kids at risk. We reach out to children and kids. We bus them in at least twice a week, Wednesdays and then Sundays. And so we're going after inner city youth, and we kind of have to, in some ways, they'll be in the same service as homeless, but then they'll have their own individual Bible studies and individual playtimes and that kind of thing that's structured and organized. and we have an excellent youth and children division that loves the Lord, and these guys do an incredible job, big time. And then also, not only that, but every day we have community service. If you get in trouble with the law, you may do some community service beside us.
Yeah.
And God has a way of, as you work with the homeless, you might see where you're going to be if you don't get your life straightened out.
So do the judges send them when they assign them community service?
Yes.
They send them to you guys?
Yes. We had a Fort Worth
like that.
judge, very famous Fort Worth judge, was a very strong member of her church, and she sent tons of people down Beautiful Feet. And we still have a lot of favor with people in high positions that will send people to come with Beautiful Feet. We have the police dropping people off at Beautiful Feet and says, if you don't get it right, I'm taking you in. And they'll drop them off of us. And so pretty interesting take for sure.
It's like the soft way to be in trouble. You get to go and learn a lesson, see what's going on in humanity, right?
Exactly.
And deal with that and experience it.
Our name, Beautiful Feet, where does it come from? Well, it's right out of the scriptures. Romans chapter 10, verse 15. It says, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news. And so that's where we derived our name. Our goal is to serve humanity and serve the poor, but also to bring that good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ. And we see that inner transformation. And so while the ministries I've discussed so far have to do with the masses of people, busing them in and in large numbers and such, on a daily basis, we have walk-up people that are sleeping in camps and under bridges and in abandoned homes and stuff like that.
Tent cities.
We're reaching out to those folks. Well, not only that, but these folks kind of get to come and be a part of the team. So we have, for instance, one of our ladies that runs our women's home, Pam Azza, was on the streets for several years. Slept through some of my very best sermons, I might add. But God woke her up in the jail cell after she got her hide thrown in.
Wow.
And the Lord got a hold of her while she was in jail, and when she got out, she went through a time with Teen Challenge. And we hired her as a cook, even though she couldn't cook. Got her trained up with people that could. And now that woman is shining like a light, dude. We're scooping up women off the streets and seeing life change. So we have a men's home and a women's home where our goal is to scoop up about 6 or 7 people a year, put them in our men's and women's home, get their little serve back on with serving God and finding out what He's got for them and being a part of that family and seeing their life change.
Discipleship.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That is real discipleship.
Yes.
That is sharing your life with another person.
Right.
Who then you are training, bringing them up in what they need to know.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't ever get to experience real discipleship.
That's right.
Right.
And what a beauty it is to see people come from the streets and then go through cooking school, go and serve start working in a mattress factory, go and be a landscaper after you did some landscaping for several people. All of a sudden, you start learning that, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
With God's help, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Miracles comes in cans. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But also, one lady is going through cooking school right now. She got a scholarship, and we have high hopes that she'll pass this thing and that'll be her financial flight plan after she gets out with us. And guys have come in, and one guy was doing a great job stocking our food pantry. Now he's working with the Nestle's cookie company because the manager saw he had such skill. She hired him on, and he went up through her ranks pretty strong.
Amazing.
And this guy all these guys and ladies came from the streets. You would never know it.
So is your main goal, okay, besides sharing Jesus, sharing the gospel, is your main goal to help people on the streets? Because a lot of our viewers,
Yes.
people that come to the site,
Yes.
they don't necessarily understand homelessness. They
Right.
think if you're on the street, you're there forever,
Yeah.
versus
Right.
people that have had a very bad stroke of luck, have had just crazy things happen to
Right.
them, medical issues, lost a home, all kinds of things. And then all of a sudden, they're living in a car. Then they can't pay for the car's gone, now they live in a tent. Then something happens to the tent, they live in a box, a cardboard box underneath a bridge.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
Then from there, y'all are helping them do what next?
We're helping them live life in a responsible manner where they now kind of start getting things that we got from our parents when we were teens. And now we become part of their spiritual substitute family to get a kind of a solid foundation.
Wow.
And now to see that life transformation is pretty incredible. You're right. People don't understand homeless, and I'm not sure I do either. But I do understand that people that are homeless are like sheep without a shepherd.
Yep.
And that's how Jesus saw people a lot of times, did he not? He saw them like sheep without a shepherd. And so our goal is to kind of come alongside them, tell them who the good shepherd is, and then try to fill in some of those gaps, those family gaps, and those gaps that when they got rebellious or when they took their eyes off the Lord, they got shelved or they got detoured from the game that God had for them.
Right.
Now all we're trying to do is reconnect them with the Lord so they can get their priorities right with Him, and then, wow, to see life change and to see folks turn around, whoa, that's pretty good stuff, though. It's like, man, it's incredible.
People don't realize in today's society how many families are one paycheck away from being homeless.
Yes.
It is incredible.
Right.
The amount of people that live paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And those are our decisions. All right. We own that.
Right.
You know, as
Right.
fathers, as husbands, as mothers and daughters,
Right.
and we make those decisions in our financial world. Making sure that everybody understands how people become homeless,
Right.
and then giving them the ability to get themselves back on their feet,
Right.
shave,
Right.
get clothed,
Right.
go for a job interview.
Right.
Without being clean, you
Right.
can't ever go and just get a job.
That's right. That's right. And the beauty of Beautiful Feet, one of the beautiful things we're seeing is where ordinary people just come and give of their time and give of their resources, even practically giving clothes, giving food, giving time, giving money, resources.
Yep.
Everybody becomes part of that connection for people to get a help up, not a mere handout, but a help up.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people, if they just had that one help up, like you said, the clothes, the showers, the coaching
Yeah.
to get back in life and do life with God. Whoa, all of a sudden that's all the encouragement they needed to turn away from darkness and turn towards light.
Yeah.
And pretty incredible thing just to see that.
Tell everybody how, if they just, you can give time or money, right?
Yes.
If they give their time, we'll just start as an example, give the viewers an idea of what they can do. How can they come down, getting involved
Yes.
with Beautiful Feet? What can they do? Give them an example.
Yes. Man,
walk
yeah.
them through how simple it is.
Right. It is simple, and it's not so time consuming as one might think, because our schedule, wow, we have opportunities galore for people to fit all kinds of schedules, because we're sharing the gospel and getting involved with homeless people on a daily basis. So you could come to our place at 8 o'clock in the morning, show up at, say, 8:30. 8:30, even on a Saturday. A lot of people have some free time on Saturday. They would come down. Maybe they would be involved in talking to homeless, eating breakfast with the homeless, serving breakfast to the homeless. Maybe they want to be involved in sorting clothes, because when you get clothing donations, you got to sort through that stuff to make it usable and sizable, to make it administratively possible. So clothing, if someone wanted to do landscape, lawn care, we got the facilities that have that need as well.
Okay.
So there's all kinds of practical opportunities to do that. They could go on one of our street outreaches, as I mentioned, on Friday nights, which is really cool. They could show up at 6:30, and we would keep them till 9 o'clock. And all ages, they would get the chance to experience what homeless people are looking at, but also give them help up in prayer and food and those kind of resources. We also go in behind bars. We do prison ministries, and we share the gospel behind bars. And we have a team that gets on that prison team to go behind bars and to share the gospel there as well. And so Beautiful Feet also Sunday mornings, if they got pastoral permission, man, they could come over and be a part of seeing church done with the homeless. Imagine
You're skipping church and you're going to Fort Worth.
Actually, you can bring the preacher with you.
There you go.
And many people do, because it's just that cool where you got packed into this auditorium that'll hold about 250. You got black, white, Vietnamese, Hispanic, all in one spot, and you're going to serve them food, clothes, the good news of Christ, a love from Christ, and be the tangible Bible that many people read.
Yeah.
And how cool it is to get our kids involved in that. Hey, how many of y'all need a Bible out there? Hey, you kids over there, see those hands? There's a stack of Bibles. Go get them, dog.
Yeah.
Hey, on our biker night on Friday night, how many of y'all need a shirt? All right, you kids over there, I want you to hit every homeless person, hit them in the chest with that T-shirt over there, and try to make it the right kind of size when you look at that person. And so,
Don't give the big guy
how
small.
cool is it to get our kids involved in evangelistic things and not even tell them what they're doing?
Right.
And so, but they figured it out. Christmas time is a great time to come to Beautiful Feet because we get the whole family involved, and our goal is to take the gospel to like 60 neighborhoods and do it on a hay wagon, and some toys in the middle, kids around those toys, adults around that, and then hit a neighborhood for Christ. I remember one group from Grapevine came out, and the husband was looking around the neighborhood and told his wife, says, I don't know if we really ought to be here.
I'm scared.
And,
They're scared, right?
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. They don't know how to feel.
And she says, well, honey, you better get over that fear, because our kid's standing on the porch right up there right now singing Christmas carols and got a gift in his hands. And so kids give to kids on the porch, and adults give to the adults, and the kids, we challenge them to pray for other kids and give their toys to kids.
Wow.
And so, pretty cool way to give away the good news.
Powerful and strong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That is serving humanity at its core. You know, I personally believe when we are helping homeless people try to figure out, I mean, you're doing what most people are truly afraid of. And the funny thing is it's probably the easiest place to help out of any type of a charity, ministry, organization, foundation. Going down and working with Mike and their team, it's the simplest thing to do. You can sort clothes, right?
Yes.
Not very difficult.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You can serve food, pass out gifts,
Right.
and if you feel like evangelizing, because that's what God's called you to do,
Right.
you can tell all kinds of people about Jesus.
Well, and even the professional people, we still have a need for doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
Just a couple of weeks ago, we had our mayor from Fort Worth come to Beautiful Feet and cut our ribbon for our brand new remodeled services for medical and dental clinics. We got some of the top of the line clinics, debt free, I might add.
Wow.
And the mayor was there to cut the ribbon and to honor the program. And so we can use doctors, hygienists, nurses to come and give one time a month to kind of get in our rotation to serve the poor. And man, they're getting in on that bandwagon. I'm so impressed with the medical community that have a heart for the poor, as well as they have a heart for their own clinic. And we got one of the best clinics in the nation, and it's been donated, and it's there. It's there for the involved. Yes,
Donated.
It's there to be involved right there.
City didn't provide it. It wasn't not from taxpayers' money. Right. This is from people with a heart who have identified you and said, "Hey, we want to help that ministry because they're doing incredible things." Right.
And our board is made up of businessmen and women that have a real heart for the city of Fort Worth and real heart for evangelism and the gospel and discipleship. Mm-hmm. And they have kept us on track financially, and thanks to their credit, we're a debt-free ministry. And it's a great place to put your funds in that you can feel good about, because I call them the underwear people, Under Armours, involved in the ministry. That I'm the limelight outside, but you better have some good underwear on the inside if you're going to be decent in this world for Christ. So these guys are incredible, and many of them have become part of the physical ministry too, where they'll be speaking and sharing and leading out in different things. They're in my staff meetings, some of them, but some of our board chairmen have they've been impeccable in their leadership. Okay. So pretty great stuff.
Let's talk a little bit about money. Let's talk about how the donating of funds benefits you.
Yes.
You don't get to give away food, clothing. You don't get to help people find automobiles.
Right.
You don't get to help people do all the things that you do without funds.
Yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
people give to y'all.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about what happens when people give, what you're able to use the money for. Just give them some ideas. So if one of the viewers goes, you know what, I got $1,000 and I feel like I need to give it.
Yes.
What can be done with $100, with $1,000? Just even the smallest, simplest gift.
Right.
I'm
thinking, Jefferson, of that verse out of Proverbs that says, "He who gives to the poor lends to the Lord, and the Lord will repay him for his good deed."
Wow.
And I see Beautiful Feet Ministries as one of those areas where you're given to the poor for the gospel's sake of the gospel, and we're being able to take that money and feed people on a daily basis. We're able to kind of get clothing organized from donations all over, but we get those clothes from all over the United States now. We also assimilate that to the need of the public, and especially those on the streets. We also, if you imagine, we have to have a fleet of buses and vans to bus in inner city children, inner city homeless from
maintenance costs. Maintenance costs, right?
Maintenance and insurance is like crazy.
Oof.
And so we have to do all that just to maintain. And then we're pretty savvy on. I have a magnificent staff of 7. And some of them are part-time and some of them are full-time.
Wow.
Alongside my wife, they work, I get a lot out of, I'm squeezing turnip pretty good. And
you've had a little bit of practice.
Them turnips get squeezed quite a bit. And so ain't a whole lot of chub on our place, but it's just pretty incredible how they take a little and go a lot. And of course, that's the Lord's favor too.
Right.
God, blessed are those. I think Luke's Gospel 6:38 says, if you give, it'll be given to you, shaken down and running, pouring out of your lap.
Yep.
And we've seen that in Beautiful Feet. It helps us to minister to people. Just this past Sunday, we had some guys the behind-the-scenes benevolence that people don't know cost. We had a guy that's running on bare tread, and we hoped to buy him a used tire to get him by. Well, they didn't have a used tire. We had to buy the new tire.
All brand new tires.
And so we had to drop some money and get him some tires, And so, we're kind of behind the scenes. And then we try to get people opportunities to maybe they work and give back, and then we can bless them with bus tickets and get them reinstated with their families. And we have a lot of transient nature, as you know, from the streets, and they need to connect with their families, and they're now ready to do business to get back. Well, that's going to cost money to get them to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And so we cannot not send them, and yet we need money to send them, right?
Yeah.
So those things kind of come up. Benevolence is kind of crazy. Jesus gave to the poor all the time, and
is there a shortage of people that you could help? Do you think that'll ever slow down?
Jesus said the poor are going to be with you always.
Always.
And the street translation is that a lot of them will be at Beautiful Feet. Okay, check it out.
You're right.
Yeah.
Are you a shelter? What's your classification like?
Right.
Do people consider you a shelter? Do people consider you a church? Do they consider you a place of, just kind of walk us through what do they think of when they think of Beautiful Feet, so that the viewers can identify how to categorize you.
Well, like Deion Sanders said to Jerry Jones one day, hey, you going to play offense or defense? Both. Hey, you going to play football or baseball? Both. Hey, you want meat lovers or you want thick crust? He said both. Well, at Beautiful Feet, both. we really are doing both. And so we are a church to those that are inner city and people that have kind of signed up to be there on a regular Sunday. We've actually become their church. However, we're kind of like an inner city ministry. And where we don't warehouse a lot of people per se, or have a ministry that keeps them overnight, our goal is to have a smaller group in a men's home and a women's home to pour in them directly for discipleship purposes, as we mentioned.
Okay.
But also go after the masses. Now, we do work with the Union Gospel and the Presbyterian Night Shelter, who have day dorms and night dorms overnight.
True shelters.
Right. So we support them and we work alongside them. But our goal is a little bit more finite in the sense of specific going to the few on the housing part. And we'll do a lot of referrals. So when we get people needing shelter and stuff, we move them from shelter to shelter. We even get some people out of our city to sister shelters in other cities.
Okay.
And that's in order to help them break up some drug ties and that kind of thing.
Get back to family.
Get them back.
Try
to
to get them closer to their
Right.
family themselves.
So I would say too, while we do both ministry and church, our goal is to have ministry with the church approach.
Okay. Wonderful.
You see the body of Christ very healthy, and it's very refreshing to see people serving the Lord through the feet.
Sometimes we watch news and all we see are the negative things that are going on on the planet. We don't get to see the feet, beautiful feet.
Right.
We don't get to see them do what they do. They're so busy doing what they do on a normal basis. You guys are so busy helping people, and we want to bring your cause, what you are trying to accomplish, your vision, who you are.
Right.
We want to bring that to the public so that they can get involved with you. They can give money, they can give time, you can give both and make a huge difference, right?
Exactly.
Because that's soldiers on the ground
Right.
helping people do something.
Right.
Right?
Exactly. And with feeding people every day, we have a cook that gives our cook a break. We have a real estate agent that comes in, and Thursdays he says, okay, Pam, you're out of the kitchen. I'm going to take it. And he brings his volunteers in. He used to own his own restaurant. It gives him a way to give back to the poor and give our staff member a break. And
That's his skill.
It is his skill. It's his
fun.
gift, his talent, and that's what he gives. And so you may have people out here everywhere may have a gift or talent that they could see give. We have one lady named Jenny, and many call her Haircut Jenny because she and two of her compadres in a conspiracy of kindness are cutting hair. And on Mondays, you get a free haircut, no matter if you're on the streets or not. You show up, we're going to put an apron on you, and we're going to cut your hair for free.
Wow.
And Jenny, when she first started out, has a remarkable personality, and she desires so much for people to hear the gospel. She would take a picture of before and after. Okay, you sit in a chair, click. You come after I get through your haircut, click. And then they put your face on a board, and it's a visual picture of something inside that's going on, because this woman's so nice. You could be the most vilest person in the world, but you're going to sit there and get your free haircut, right?
And she's going to make you look pretty.
And she's going to make you pretty, but you're going to take a big risk, a life change, if you sit in her chair. If you want to live your life for yourself, you're going to have a tough time sitting there on that free haircut while Lord does an inside move on you, if you know what I mean.
Do you think that the Lord blesses Haircut Jenny for what she does on Mondays?
Oh, absolutely. And there's a lot of other opportunities like that hadn't been invented yet that people have the skills for that can come and make a big difference in people's lives.
So simple.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. He's looking so much for availability as he is looking for ability.
Yeah.
And when those two come together, it's pretty nice stuff.
I like it. Is there anything else that you think that we need to walk people through? Anything else that you want to say to them that they can go, golly, I can go to Beautiful Feet. I can get involved. I got nothing going on Saturday. I got nothing going on Sunday.
Right.
I got nothing going on Wednesday night.
Right.
why don't I just go do something?
Right.
Right?
Well, we all
What would
need
you like for them to know?
as one of our slogans goes from the scriptures in Mark 10:45, you kind of want to get your serve on.
Yeah.
And so we say it on the streets like, get your serve on. and we say, you got to get your serve on. And so we know that all of us in the body of Christ need to get our serve on. And we need to do more. Instead of whining and complaining, we could do a little more serving. And I think Beautiful Feet gives the people opportunity to do that. I get to sit back and enjoy the expressions on people's faces. Let's say from, people that come and serve time with us at the feet. A lot of times people are scared to break into homeless ministries and that kind of thing. But when they come to Beautiful Feet, they come to give. And to see on Sunday, after they've been there about a week with us, before they leave, get on their bus to go back home, they're crying because now God's touched them and says, my goodness, I came to give to you people, but you people gave more to me.
That's right.
The Lord gave more to me through you guys than I did. And then the homeless are being touched by these guys. And both groups are kind of crying and getting emotional about it. And so evidently the Lord is doing a supernatural setup on all of us.
Yep.
And so when you get your serve on, he came to serve, not to be served, but to serve and give his life a ransom for many. And when we follow that model, you know, you're bound to be touched from the inside out. So
I think, and I've said this before about homelessness, people in the general public are more afraid of this one topic because they just don't realize that somebody sitting under a tree in a homeless environment would just want, they just want somebody to come up to them and say, hi, how are you?
Right.
You don't have to, 9 times out of 10, you don't have to say anything else at all. You ask them one question and they could talk to you for as long as you want to, because nobody is really doing a whole lot to spend any time with them. And they're so excited to have somebody take just the least little bit of interest in them.
Right, exactly.
And that fear, once you try it, all of a
Right.
sudden that fear goes away. But the general public are so afraid of it. And it's the easiest thing to do. It takes no skill to do that, does it?
Well, and the cool thing about, if you look at Beautiful Feet as your fishing guide, we have chartered experiences on a regular basis. And we know where the fish are and we can tell you how to catch them. And all you got to do is show up for the boat ride.
Wow.
And the Lord can do the rest of it by, you just showing up. And so you don't have to be totally thinking through everything. Thank the Lord, He's raised up a lot of people that will take the fear out and have pioneered the way into that field a little bit, so that it kind of takes it out. Instead of seeing a homeless person over there, what if you were told, hey, go over and talk to George. He's feeling a little lonely right now. There you go.
Yep.
We can be that conduit for them to take the fear out of it and wade through those waters for you.
Can anybody come participate and help at the feet?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
anyone?
Absolutely.
Do you have to have a skill?
No, not at all. Right. You just have to have availability.
Availability. Think about it.
Blessed are the flexible, they shall be bent and bent again. And bent maybe more times. But they will definitely enjoy the.
Can you quote that scripture in verse?
I can't quote that scripture in verse. Blessed are the flexible. Yeah, for sure.
I like it.
But how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news.
Yeah.
And we're thankful that, we get to be a part of that life change and see God's gospel go out there in practical ways. And so when we serve God, it's a win-win on all behalves.
Man, we are truly, I feel blessed. I appreciate you coming out. I hope everyone has had a chance to take a look at this. I hope if you have a heart for the homelessness, if you have a heart for the homeless, I'm going to say that correct. If you would like to get involved at Beautiful Feet, if you would like to get involved with Mike and his team, if you would like to donate time and money, just money, they have a need for you.
Right.
They have a need.
Exactly.
You can take anyone. You can take $1. You could take $1,000. You could take $10,000. I'm assuming the dental clinic
Right.
and the medical clinic.
Right.
That wasn't cheap. That stuff's
No.
expensive. People are
right.
putting money in a big way
That's
to
right.
make a dent in the problems that
Right.
are in our society to help you do what you do on a daily basis.
Right.
You know, if anyone has a heart for this, reach out to Mike. You'll be able to, after this video, you'll be able to see their link to their website. You can go there, you donate directly to them, you call them directly. We are simply a conduit helping you find Mike and Beautiful Feet and get involved because giving's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Amen. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.